The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN. The Money Masters. Now, the Money Masters.
Good day, Money Masters and Treasure Hunters. Welcome to the December 4th wonderful Wednesday edition of the Money Masters Show. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I am grateful for your presence here today. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with tools that empower human potential. Because living up to our potential, folks, that's something you and we must master each and every day. So let's begin our day with some empowering beliefs. You've heard this one. This is called Become Your Own Electrician. The electrician of your belief system. You know, beliefs, they have the power to create and, of course, the power to destroy. You and we've got that incredible, extraordinary ability to take any experience of our lives and create a meaning that either disempowers us, we'll talk softly about those, or one that can literally save our lives and empower us to places we never, ever dreamed of. Think about it like this. There's only one thing that you can control in life, and that's the meaning that you give to something. That's the beauty of the markets we trade. We've got bulls. They're here today. We've got bears. They're also here today. One that sees an event as a selling opportunity. Another as a buying opportunity. We're going to go take a look at the markets here in just a few minutes and try to figure out which is which. Of course, it's going to depend on your time frames as well. You see, your beliefs, the meaning that you give to events, to statements, criticisms, whatever it might be, you are the one in control of that meaning. Pretty cool when you really think about it, because what you and I can or cannot do, what we consider possible or impossible, it's rarely a function of our true capability. It is more likely a function of our beliefs about who we are. And that matters because all personal breakthroughs, all begin with a change in our belief system. So, how do we change our belief system? This is the real key, folks. I've found the most effective way to change is to get our brain to associate massive pain, I mean massive pain, to our old disempowering belief. We all have them. We must believe at the deepest level, folks, that our disempowering belief has cost us in our past, and if we continue, it'll cost us in the present, and ultimately will only bring us pain in the future. That's what is called the Charles Dickens process. It's more than just a movie out there. Folks, you want to take yourself through that process. You want to get rid of those disempowering beliefs. You know, sometimes knowing what we don't want is just as important as knowing what we do. I think you need to know both. You need to know both. Why? Because once we rid ourselves of our disempowering belief, we got to fill that up. We got to associate tremendous pleasure to the idea of adopting a new empowering belief system. We must know, folks, that in any moment, a decision that we make can change the course of our life forever. The very next person we stand behind in line or sit next to on an airplane, the very next phone call we make, trade we make, the very next movie we see, maybe it's a book we read, a page we turn, any of these things could be the single event that causes the floodgates to open. And then all the things we've been waiting for will fall right into place. Well, let's go see what's falling into place here in the markets right now. We've seen a reversal here today. We've got the Dow. It's up 13 points. It's trading out at 15,927. S&P is up about 2 points. It's trading at 1796. Composite up 3 points. It is trading out at 40.40. Russell 2000 up 91 cents right now. It's trading out at 11.24. I'm taking a look at the ES Mini. It's taking on the 1794.25 level. It's trading out at 1795. It's a 30-minute chart. We'll see how it reacts to this area out here. That's an important area. That is called perigee, which came in this morning at 5:20 our time, 5:20 our time this morning. So that's going to be it's an invisible area of support and resistance. We're going to be paying attention to that 1794.25 level. If price maintains and stays above that, comes back and tests it, that'll have to make you say, something to think about. To the upside here, leading the charge, you've got CF Industries. They're trading up $20 and change. That's up about 10%. Bree Properties, that's trading up $6. That's up 11%. III Apparel Group, GIII. I like that, III. That is trading up about 10% this morning. Guidewire Software, GWRE, that's trading up 7.5%. Netflix is up 1%. Pioneer Natural Resources, PXD, we want to check in on that. That's up $3 and change. EOG Resources up $3. Western Digital up $2.85. Google up a couple of bucks. To the downside, you've got Intuitive Surgical jumping in the game. ISRG, that's down only about less than 2% off $6 and change. Bob Evans Farms, they're down 9%. Express Inc., ouch, off 20% this morning, down $5. Tesla Motors off 4. Sears Holdings off 4. El Paso Pipeline off about 4. Ambit Biosciences, AMBI, off $3.50. Marathon Petroleum, $3.50 to the downside. Apple down $3. Essex Properties off $2.79. Tesoro down $2.11. Our call number, 877-927-6648. If you listened in on the earlier show this morning at 9 o'clock, as we were coming on, I said, okay, market's moving down lower here. It's into a extreme, I do mean extreme, sold condition. It's going to have to bounce. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce or move sideways. Well, what did we see here? We saw a bounce. We've seen a significant bounce. We've gone from the low here of 1784.50. Right now, the ES Mini at 1796.50. It'll be important as we come into 18 minutes from now, this 10:30 session out here. You got a wide-ranging bar, some volume behind the move here, 145,000 contracts after making a low with 200,000 contracts. We got 18 minutes left in the trading session. How did I know that the market had to bounce? It's a set of tools that I use here. There's a rubber band can only stretch so far. You can't get below zero, and that's what we were looking at right at the session here coming into that 9:30 time frame out here. You had this relative strength indicator that I use get down to a 0.64. It actually was a little bit lower than that at one point during that trading session between 9 and 9:30 out there. And folks, it just can't get much lower than that. You can see the last time that took place, that was yesterday. That was at 7 o'clock in the morning. Again, what we just simply had to work off to let off some air out of that was just simply a little bit less of a bounce in the marketplace, but it has to work its way off. It can't get below zero. You know, I've wished that it would get below zero at times, but it just simply cannot do it. Now, that's what's going on an intraday basis out here. So we've seen that to work off the oversold condition. Now we're going to see how it's going to deal with this 1794.25 level and whether that is going to act as a significant resistance point and then continue its move southward. Let's see what's going on inside the euro Japanese yen here as we speak. We've seen a move off of the oversold condition out here, but nothing like what we just saw as a potential overreaction inside of the ES Mini out here. So we've also seen a bounce. Not coming off as extreme of a low, but it was in the oversold territory. So this is just a normal-looking bounce out here. So no real change in trend here yet inside the Euro-Japanese yen. That's what you really need to see is a change inside the Euro-Japanese yen, and we have not seen that here thus far. Let's go take a look at. What do we want to take a look at here? Let's go take a look at the indexes. So let's start off by taking a look at the New York Stock Exchange. New York Stock Exchange, we can see it is inside the lower part of the range of the 3 drive to a top pattern. That's the 3 drive to a top pattern that completed on October 30th. In fact, as long as we're looking at the New York Stock Exchange, let's take a look here and see what it is actually doing. It's got net declining issues of 307. That is not a bullish sign. In fact, that will not turn any oscillator up. That certainly won't turn the summation index up. So right now, 10-127.63, that is a number to be paying attention to. That is on the New York Stock Exchange. Give me one more moment here. I can give you where if the market does X today, that says that the selling pressure would be over. So let me come over here. Let's take a look at the NYSE. Let's take a look at one of the Steve-O-ometer tools out here. The number you want to be paying attention to inside of the New York Stock Exchange, that's going to be yesterday's high out here. That high inside the NYSE is 10-137.01. You close at above 10-137.01 out there, and that will actually set up a buying opportunity. That would be a reversal. That would be a buying opportunity inside of the marketplace. That is on the New York Stock Exchange. Let's go check out right next door is the VIX. Let's go see what it is doing. This has had a bit of a reversal, still above the 50-day exponential moving average, so the bulls are not out of the woodwork. However, that 50-day exponential moving average, here's the number you want to be paying attention to, $13.84. If you see the VIX, and it's trading at $14.35. If you were to see the VIX here today get below $13.85, plus the New York Stock Exchange give you that reversal, that is setting up the Santa Claus rally would have begun. That is what the markets would be communicating to us. That takes place at the end of the trading session. That would be coming about at 4 o'clock. So those are two numbers that you want to be paying attention to. We take a look at the S&P 500 out here right now. Let me put up the other chart for the S&P here. I'm going to flip back and forth. I don't believe I'm going to be able to. Let me see here. Put up the S&P 500. What's the number we want to take a look at here? Yeah, I don't have the same issue on the S&P 500. Let me take a look at the ES. Let's do this here. Let's take a look at the ES, which, So the ES, here's what you'd want to see. So the S&P futures, and this would be key out here, you'd want to see a close today. This is to identify whether or not a reversal, whether or not the selling pressure is done inside the marketplace. If you get a close above 1801.75, right now you're trading out at, 1797.75. So the number today would be a close above 1801.75. That would be your reversal. And we'll use the ES Mini because that would take care of the S&P 500 out there. So you got the numbers for the New York Stock Exchange, you got the number for the ES Mini, you got the number for the VIX. What more does one need in life? Oh, I guess you probably want the numbers for the Dow. Let's go check out and see what the Dow is doing out here. Dow has been a weak player. Let me go and take a look at that's the monthly chart. Boy, trying to get to the daily chart, that takes some time out here. Here's the Dow. So let's go take a look at its numbers. It's right now traveling out at 15,944. What does the Dow need to do for us to indicate that a reversal would be in place? I am glad you asked me that because I can tell you exactly what you would be looking for. The Dow Jones Industrial Average here, the numbers you'd be looking for would be a close above yesterday's high. That high out there, 16,004.72. That would be a must. If you see that as well, so if you see all of those things, hopefully you're writing these things down on a piece of paper. I haven't been out, but I'll just go back after the show and I'll write those down. I'll know what it is that we're looking for. If you don't see that, then no reversal yet in place in the marketplace, other than a nice intraday reversal here to take care of the sold condition out there. But those are the numbers you want to be paying attention to, because if in fact we get those, folks, that will say to me that Santa Claus is on his way. He's done delivering coal to everybody out there. Right now, we've got the Dow is up 28 points, S&P up 3, NASDAQ up 8 points out there, Russell 2000, that's up 3 points, New York Stock Exchange, it just turned green out there, still has 141 net declining issues. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
With over 3 decades of trading experience, Andy Hecht brings a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise to each weekly issue of his newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report. The Technomental Commodity Report gives you Andy's unique technomental analysis of the commodities market, a combination of technicals and fundamental analysis which he has developed and perfected over his many years of trading. The Technomental Commodity Report is only $49 a month, and right now you can get a full month-long trial subscription while paying absolutely nothing. See for yourself the kind of weekly report Andy delivers to his subscribers every Thursday morning. You'll receive specific stock, ETF, and option trades based on Andy's analysis, so no futures account is required. For all the details and to start your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, visit TFNN.com today.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 33 points. S&P is up 4. NASDAQ is up 11. Russell 2000 up 4 points. Goldilocks up $6 right now. Not really a lot of change out there. Silver's up 29 pennies. Let's take a peek here and see what's going on over in Europe here. Europe has pared back its losses. The DAX now only down about 0.5% out here. The FTSE is off 10 points. So I'll show you probably one of the coolest charts out there for those of you that like different celestial, lunar type of trading strategies out here. I shared this with subscribers this morning. It's called the Moon Conjunct Pluto, and it is a beauty out here. Now, if you take a look at this chart, if you're watching this on Tiger TV, obviously you can see it. If you're listening on the radio, remember you can always, or your mobile device at tfnn.mobi. The show is archived on Channel 10, so you can go replay the show out here. But it's the S&P 500, and there is the yesterday was a new moon. Today is the Moon Conjunct Pluto. It's the final aspect of the year here. And what you're seeing on my chart are the aspects when we have either a full moon or a new moon lined right up with the Moon Conjunct Pluto. And why is that important? Well, if you take a look at the last serious bottom that we had was on June 24th, 2013. That was a pretty important bottom, wasn't it? And what we had on that session, can't tell you if it's coincidence. I don't believe there's any coincidences out here, but you had the Moon Conjunct Pluto as well as a full moon out there. If you go back to November 16, 2012, is that an important low out there in the marketplace? Yes, it is. You had you had a new moon, and it was also a solar eclipse, and the moon conjunct Pluto on November the 16th. You can go back to June the 6th, the actual low that was put in on June the 4th out there. That was where you had the full moon as well as moon conjunct Pluto. And that's what we've got going on here today. So today's session is really very, very important. And, you know, for me, it's just the numbers are pretty easy. Having them on the charts and knowing what is in front of us, now it's just really a matter of letting the market go ahead and communicate to us. And what it has communicated up to this point in time is that the trend had changed to the downside. But we've identified here both on the VIX, on the New York Stock Exchange, on the Dow, on the ES Mini. Can't really give you any numbers in the composite because inside the composite, the NDX 100, there is no change in trend out there. We go take a look at those indexes. They're just simply still strong. No reversals of fortune inside. Well, I gave you the number, I think, on the Russell 2000 as well. But inside the NASDAQ composite, and this has been this is kind of the strong link out here. It's certainly not a weak link. You did get let me see, do we have key reversal session? Of course, I get tired of talking about those. November 29th high, 406,970. No, we didn't get one. We just had a bearish engulfing candle on December the 2nd on Monday. Yesterday, a little bit of confirmation with a lower close, but no big volume or anything along those lines. No real price movement inside of the NASDAQ composite. So the NASDAQ here showing that it is the strong hands. That would say that resistance is going to be at 4,069.70. You're at 4,046. Hey, if you get a close above that today, Santa has arrived from the North Pole early. It's just as simple as that. Can't get any simpler. Inside the NDX 100, you had the key reversal bearish engulfing session. That was on December 2nd. That was on Monday. That says 3501.07 is the number you get above that, and prices will move higher out there. So that really covers the indexes. Let's take a look at the ETF structure out here. So far, ETF structure, the diamonds were down with volume yesterday. Volume to the downside was 8.6 million shares. In the first hour of trading, we have done, or it has done, 1.8 million shares. So not too bad with regard to volume inside of the diamonds. What I was really paying attention to here in order to potentially mark some type of a low was yesterday's volume inside of the Qs. Volume there was pretty good, 37 million shares. But see, the Qs have a habit, and I would have wanted to have seen a lot more volume. We didn't really get that. Why would Steve-O like to see a lot more volume? Guess what high volume does inside of the Qs? It marks lows. How about that? Take a look at the November 7th. Take a look at this candle. See how this candle just sticks out? That marked a bit of a low. How about come all the way back here to the trading session on October the 9th? October the 9th, what do you see? A big high volume bar out there? The Qs, for some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's hedge funds. I don't know what's going on out there. If you take a look here at the Qs, now June 20th was a high volume bar. 2 days later, just a slight move lower. That had marked a significant low out there. So when the market is moving down, take a look at right back here on the trading session of April the 17th, April 18th out there. High volume bar marked a low. The Qs, pretty interesting stuff, huh? I think it is. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can't use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Right now, Dow's up 29 points. The S&P is up 3.5. So while we were at the break, I was just taking a look at just some of the intraday charts out here. Just take a look at how real the move is inside of the ES Mini. Now, what we can take a look at, the expansion that it has made is the 1.272 expansion. Now, this is it's a 10-minute chart that I've got up on my screen out here. And on the 10-minute chart, what we're taking a look at is the swing point from 4:20 in the morning. This is on December the 4th. What's today's? Today's December the 4th? Yeah, today's December the 4th. So at 4:20 this morning out here, guess I should have been able to figure that out. That high was $17.95 and 75 cents. If we go from that high down to the low that was put in as we were coming on the air at 9:39.40, the low out there at 17.84.50. If you go from the high to the low, and you go ahead and take an expansion of that, a 1.272, take that distance, multiply times 1.272, and add it to the low of 17.84.50, it'll take you up to the price point of 17.98.81. So that means 17.99. And what the ES Mini did was it hit the 17.99.50 mark. So it's done that expansion on the 10-minute chart that we're looking at. You know, it's in that bought territory. It still can run a bit higher. It's not like the same oversold territory that we hit back here at 8:20 this morning, when the market just simply had to be able to work off that condition out there. So the next level up, if in fact it does not reverse from here, takes you to about the 1802 range. At 1802, you start to run into this little trend line here coming off of the high. So this is a 10-minute chart that we're taking a look at. I'm just trying to take a look at, okay, where is price likely to run into any kind of resistance, or where is it that you would also, so I gave you on the daily charts ideas and areas where we'd be looking for breakouts. Now, all that stuff takes place at the end of the trading session, at the end of the day out here. So what can we take a look at on the intraday chart that would give us information as to whether or not there's anything real behind the move out here? So if I'm just taking a trend line, trying to take a trend line off of the highs, in essence, the high came in at 1040 in the morning on a 10-minute chart, and this was on Friday, and this was in the futures. This is at 1812.50 out here. But there's your trend line. So we'll go ahead and we'll just simply keep this chart. That's the upper portion of the trend line. We'll go ahead and keep this on the screen here. We'll come back to it every now and again. But the move behind this here, well, let me switch over to the 30-minute chart. The move behind this, certainly from a volume standpoint, was real. If we take a look at the volume, there's the, must not have been there. Let me just put the volume back up on the screen here. There we go. As we take a look at the volume inside of the 30-minute chart here, biggest volume we've had in 30 minutes since the time frame back here, which was a downdraft. This was at 2:30 in the afternoon on November the 20th, or December the 4th. Volume behind the move to the upside here was 259,000 contracts done. That was from 10 to 10:30. So that's real. So the key is going to be at that 1794-ish range. What number is it? 1794.25. So on a pullback here, and it's pulling back a bit, the question is that 1794.25, is that going to act as support? And if that area starts to act as support out there, that'll make me say, something to think about. In fact, maybe even take a different form of action out here in the market. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. And let's go take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping in the market. There's plenty to choose from. So let's go take a look at what we've got that is going up here this morning. CF Industries. CF Whole Industries Holding. CF is the ticker symbol. That's the leader in the clubhouse. It's up 9% with some volume. So this thing has gapped up. It's taking on. It looks like a double top out here. Okay, so this thing is at all-time highs. It's taken out a swing point. Recent swing point was January 30th. That had 768,000 shares. It's up and over that with 1.5 million shares out here. So CF Industries, that's setting up an A to B equals CD pattern. If we take a look at what that would actually look like, I'd come off of the May 17th level. That would be my A point on here. That's at about a price of 154.17. The B point that it's taking out the swing from January 30th, that is the 233.40-ish high out there. And the B point is down here on July 2nd. CF Industries came back and tested a gap out here, this little breakout session from June the 19th. So the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD is a projection of 248.51. It's trading at 235.50. But this is a nice sign. This is a second nice sign of strength here in CF Industries. This first sign of strength came in, and it was big. This was on July 29th out there, up with a total of 5.6 million shares. Let's see, today we've been trading for, about an hour, and it's on 1.5 million shares. Could actually have more volume here today than it did on that trading session. So 248.51 is your 1-to-1, your 1 to 2.72. Let's take a look at expansions, swing points. We did that here when we took a look at the ES-mini. Let's do the same thing here on CF. So at the 248.66, just 250 level would be a 1.272 expansion. But, man, with today's move up, it looks more like it wants to get up to the 270-ish type range out there. That is on CF Industries. Let's go to Lou in Nashua. Lou, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing this morning?
Very good. Thanks for asking, Steve.
Good. You want to take a look at – go ahead.
Natural gas, yeah. I'm trying to look for an entry.
Okay.
For the January contract, I believe.
Right. So this is you'd like to see this thing pull back.
That's right.
So you're tired of hearing me say that. I'm sorry about that.
I know.
Yeah. it's let me. This thing is, when we take a look at the natural gas contract on the daily basis, this rubber band is stretching so much out here that it has to at least move sideways. And I wouldn't call the last 3 trading or 4 trading sessions anything that's moving sideways out here. And it's really until it starts to pull back where it's kind of hard to identify where the entry spot would be. But, your first place, your first target area, depending on the pullback, the velocity, the volume behind the move, maybe it's around 380 or so out here, but it's just getting to where that rubber band is been so stretched. It hasn't been as stretched as this. Let me see how far back I can go before I find that stretch. This stretch is right out here. This would take us, this is the January contract, so it got to about this stretch level right around March the 19th. And then what it did for a period of days in order to work that off was it just simply moved sideways. And if that's what it does this time, then it went ahead and took off topside again, just trying to work off some at over bought condition out there. Your entry point may be more of a sideways move out here that you would take on this. So I don't see the reward in taking a long trade on this thing now. I think you just have to be patient, or you have to look elsewhere. Elsewhere could be in light sweet crude, quite frankly.
Right.
That thing actually took off yesterday. That would have more potential. It's not as overbought at all. It had some volume behind the move out there. 99.59 is most certainly in its cards. It's at 96.84 right now. It should be able to get up to the 99.59 type level. I would just look for maybe something else other than natural gas that is extended here.
Okay.
Maybe you look at it. Is there anything else? I know you like looking at natural gas. Is there anything else that you look at that I could look for you?
Yes, the euro.
The euro. Oh, I got a bad tick. Let me see if it was fixed. I didn't try to fix it. Oh, I don't have that thing fixed. Nothing is more frustrating than let's see if I do this here. Okay, so in the euro, I don't want to give you. I don't want. I see the bad tick just shows back up on my screen out here. The euro. Do you trade the futures contract on the euro?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see here on the euro. Maybe I can do it with this other system here. Let me take a look at the euro using the futures contract out here. Okay. So your next buy inside, are you looking to go long? Are you looking to go short? Tell me what you're thinking.
I was thinking of going short.
Thinking of going short. So if you're looking to go short,
yeah, that's pretty difficult.
What you need to see to go short on the futures contract, I'd want to see it close below 134.88 out there. If you see a close below that, then you might have a confirmation of a continued move lower out here. So that's what I would be paying attention to on the futures contract. Let me just pull up natural gas up here. I think this is just a continuous contract that I've got at the moment here. Yeah, this thing has just been strong like a bull out here. Natural gas, Lou. You just got to wait. I'm sorry. You just got to wait and be patient on that one. All righty?
Okay. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, you bet. Thanks for calling. Have a happy holiday. Right now, we've got the Dow is up. Thank you. Right now, the Dow is up 25, S&P up 2.5. Let's take a look at a couple of stocks here that are moving to the downside. Intuitive Surgical, ISRG, is the ticker symbol out here, and that is the leader in the clubhouse. That's down 8% here this morning. That thing is, what is this? I'm just trying to find some potential support. It's trading into the last bullish engulfing candle from the trading session of October the 23rd, but you can see this thing moved into the first indication of the sell mode. That took place right here on November the 21st. Then on November 22nd, gave you a confirmation. The trend on this thing is most certainly down. It's running into where the bulls, at last were holding out, and that was on the trading session of October the 23rd out there. That's on Intuitive Surgical. Express Scripts, or not Express Scripts, Express Inc., EXPR, the clothing company, I believe. Express Scripts is the real estate. Oh, man, look at that thing here. Let's go see what kind of volume is behind this move. It's going to probably be huge. Let's see here. EXPR is the ticker symbol. Yeah, it's Wait a minute here. What's going on with my system? Let me do this here. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, there we go. Okay, just had to get it updated. Yeah, take a look at the volume behind this thing. You think there's some selling? This thing broke out, had a nice sign of strength in it, and came back to the breakout area. The sign of strength was on August the 28th. That had volume to the upside of 5 million shares. But guess what, folks? We've been trading for, what, an hour and 15 minutes. And what it has done is 8.6 million shares. You don't think that there's some volume to the downside on this little puppy, do you? So where's this headed to? Let's see here. This thing has some high volume days out here. I'd have to say it's likely headed to this next breakout area out here, which had some wide price spread, accelerated volume. That takes you back to the January 15th time frame. The low there is 1603. The breakout session from the prior day, the high of which is 1415. So that looks like that's the range where Express will move back to. Let me take a look at the weekly chart on this equity, see what it is doing out here. Boy, that is a nasty bar out here. Last time Express, when we take a look at the weekly chart here, had big volume to the downside, which was on May 25th. It got looks like a 3 drive to a top pattern, doesn't it? Is that what it looks like to you out here? Let's go draw in that 3 drive to a top pattern that it formed out here this week or last week. Let's go see if, in fact, it did that. I can't use today's candle. At this high right up here. Let's see. Yeah, I would have to say it did. Look at that. 1.272 moves out here. Let's take a look and see what the cycle time is between that first drive, which would take you to August 2nd's high, your second drive out here, which was September 27th. That would say your next high would have come in on November 22nd. And it actually came in here on the trading session of November 15th. That would qualify. There is your 3 drive to a top pattern in Express scripts. And these things here, these 3 drive to a top patterns, they're very bearish. This thing here was not at all-time highs, but it was taking you back towards its all-time high back in March of 2012. That's why this pattern here on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's gone back and forth and back and forth. It's now back underneath the bottom of that range out here. Give me a moment. We'll pull that up on the screen for you. You can see here right now, it's here's the 3 drive. This one is a beauty. The only thing it doesn't have is the Fibonacci expansion numbers, 1.27 or 1.618. Express Inc. did, but the New York Stock Exchange does not have that. It's got 1.5. But you can't see it is below the 10,127 range out here. And as we speak right now, you still have net decline in issues, although not by a ton, down 103. You would need, in order for a true bullish move to take place and get the summation index to turn up today, what you would need is I didn't have that chart up on my screen. Let me see if this is loading. Well, while that is loading, there we go. In a moment, it just takes me a moment to open up my spreadsheet out here and then go over to the tab. And I think it's around 1,400 or 1,500, if I'm not mistaken. Now, 1,315 net advancing issues is what would be needed in order for the oscillators to turn up right now. We've got the Dow is up 25 points. The S&P is up 2.5. And we're coming into the 11 o'clock time frame. And we're going to be watching the price level of $17.94.25. We're going to be watching it like a hawk all day. We'll be right back, folks.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 31 points right now. S&P is up 3. Let's go to Jose in Tampa. Jose, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Good, good. Hey, specific question on gold. I hear all these horror stories about, well, you got a Russian high official saying he believes the U.S. dollar will crack in 16? Others are saying 2015. What's your opinion on the U.S. dollar? Does it ever crack? Is it a bunch of fear-mongering?
Well, so good question. But let me ask you a question before I try to give you.
I don't think it's a great question. I think it's an obvious question. Everybody's sitting in complacency in U.S. dollars and paper. I mean, it's an obvious question. It's not really a great question.
Well, it's okay. So for an obvious question, let me ask you this: what is it that what the answer that I give you? How are you going to use that from a trading standpoint? Because it indicated you were
trading. I don't want to do any trading. I get $300,000 in dollars sitting in a bank. Am I at risk if the dollar tanks?
Well, I mean, are you questioning whether or not it's a currency that's going to go away?
Yeah.
No, I don't see that. I mean, look, if we take a look at the U.S. dollar index. Look, what I do is pay attention to the charts out here. If you just simply take a look at what the U.S. dollar index has done, and we take a look, you're talking a longer-term horizon out here, and we'll take a look at a weekly chart for the U.S. dollar index. You know, it's well off of it. That question should have come in. That question should have come back in May of 2011. We're way off of the lows inside of the U.S. dollar index. Look.
I know, but you're talking about weeks and months. I'm talking about history. I'm talking about during World War II, you needed a wheelbarrow full of Reichsmarks to buy a loaf of bread. Does the dollar crack in a couple years as Russia is predicting and go away? And everyone's
Okay. Look, Jose, I spent some time in Russia, and I've got a good friend. He just visited me from Russia, spent some time over in St. Petersburg. And if you're going to buy into what they're saying, then go ahead. But I literally, when I stayed over there, and this was right after Perestroika, and you want to talk about inflation, I've seen what inflation looks like in Russia. You wake up every morning, and underneath your door, it says if you're paying in euros, your room's now doubled. And the next morning it did the same thing. I went to their black markets. It's still the same today. I even asked Steve-O when he was visiting me. When I went to the black market out there, and it was illegal to sell U.S. dollars. That's what people wanted, the U.S. dollar. You go to Russia right now, and you take the U.S. dollar, so I don't care what Putin or anybody is saying out there. The king in Russia is U.S. dollars. Go over there and visit. I've been there. I just had a friend come visit me. He owns a travel agency over there. I asked him about the U.S. dollar. And so in Russia specifically, it's the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is one currency that you can travel with around the world. I've had the benefit of being able to do that. That means China, communist country. It means Japan. It means anywhere. Australia. You can take U.S. dollars in any restaurant and buy food. Anywhere. Now, if you try to pay for food in the U.S. with euros, how many owners do you think would actually take euros?
Well, yeah, I understand.
I'm just going to use reality because I think it is a great question. So I'm going to give you my opinion because I've done it, I've lived it. I can give you the experience, and I can give you the experience specifically with regard to Russia because I've got a good friend. He's an American. He's over there. He's been over there for about 25 years. We opened up a business in the Peter and Paul Fortress, so I know about Russia. I know about the U.S. dollar, and there's not a Russian citizen that wouldn't like to have U.S. dollars. So I hope that helps answer your question, Jose. I think it was a great question. Folks, have a great day out there, and I look forward to seeing you in the morning.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.